Hello everyone, this is Indrajit Ganguly and welcome to your history class. Dear students, today I am going to start the third chapter from the history syllabus of class 9, that is Nazism and the rise of Hitler. Okay, dear student, this year due to the COVID-19 situation, you have only 3 chapters from history. First one, that is French Revolution, second one Russian Revolution, and the third one that is the Nazism and the rise of Hitler. The first 2 chapters I have already completed, and this was the third and last chapter from the history syllabus of class 9. Okay, remember students, this chapter is one of the most interesting chapter you have in the social science syllabus, and most important, this chapter is one of my favorite chapter. Why did so? Because this chapter is dealing with 2 world wars. Okay, the First World War and Second World War, and its devastating impact on world politics and economy. Next, in this chapter you will get to know about the world's best dictator ever had, and his name was Adolf Hitler. How Adolf Hitler proved himself as one of the greatest dictators. Basically in class 9 syllabus you have read about lots of dictators like Napoleon Bonaparte, Robespierre, Joseph Stalin, and many more. Okay, but in this chapter you will get to know about the another greatest dictator and the world ever had, that is Adolf Hitler, and it's my privilege to discuss with you about him and his propaganda. Okay, so let's have a look onto the first topic of this chapter, that is birth of Weimar Republic. Dear student, you can see this chapter basically starts with the story of First World War. Okay, the First World War starts in 1914 and it was end in 1918, and finally the World War was ended by the peace treaty which was imposed between these 2 brigades. Okay, you can see that the world power, basically European powers, they are divided into 2 groups. Okay, 2 brigades we can say that. First group is known as Allies, and second group is called Central Power. Remember student, it is very important, you have to know about it because it is important for 1 mark question. I am repeating once again, first group is called Allies and second is group called Central Powers. Clear? Okay. In the first group we have England, France and Russia. Okay, and in the next group we have Germany, Austria-Hungary and Turkey. Remember student, during that time, during the first half of 20th century, Austria-Hungary, they are the same country. Okay, but nowadays Hungary split from Austria and now they become a 2 separate countries. So these groups are there and many more powers are also there in the Central Power group. Now the question is, in the year 1917, Russia withdrew herself from the Allies group of the First World War. Why did so? I think you know that 1917 witnessed the Bolshevik Revolution and Russian Revolution, and Communist Party under the leadership of Lenin came into the power. So Russia withdrew herself from the First World War because it is the main agenda of the Bolshevik Party to withdraw Russia from the First World War. So Russia withdrew herself from the First World War. But whenever Russia withdrew herself from the First World War, in 1917, United States of America joined the Allies. And whenever United States of America joined the Allies, as we all know that United States of America is one of the superpower in the world, and therefore whenever they decided to support the Allies group, obviously the result became so obvious, and therefore Allies power won against the Central Power. Okay, so after the defeat of the Central Power, we can see lots of changes were happening in the political, social and economic life of these Central Powers. Okay, we are not discussing about Austria-Hungary, Turkey and other powers, but our main focus will be on Germany, because the major changes in the political, social and economic life was happened in Germany. So what was the changes? The first changes was that after the defeat of the First World War, there was an end of the Imperial Germany. During that time, the Germany was ruled by Kaiser William II. Remember, it is not in your book, but I am just telling you for your general knowledge. Germany was ruled by Kaiser William II. Kaiser meaning ruler, just like Tsar. In the second chapter, you heard about the term Tsar, Tsar Nicholas II, like other like and this one. So Tsar meaning ruler in Germany, Kaiser meaning ruler. So after the abdication of the Kaiser William II, there was an ended of the imperial Germany. Okay, and there was a birth of Weimar Republic. Remember students, Weimar is a place of Germany. A national assembly met at Weimar and established a republic, and that is called Weimar Republic, which means Germany is now moving towards a democratic country. After the abdication, after the end of the monarchy, now Germany is thinking about shifting towards a democratic country. Clear? And Weimar is a place, and at Weimar many political leaders they met and they found Weimar Republic in 1919. After the end of the World War I was ended by the peace treaty, and this treaty was known as Treaty of Versailles. This treaty was signed in 1919. It was a peace treaty, and by this war the World War I has ended. Remember, it is also important for 1 mark question. Okay, so after the World War I, the Weimar Republic wanted to adopt democratic constitution with federal structure. So which means that the Weimar Republic is moving, so Germany is moving towards democracy, and Weimar Republic wanted a constitution and federal structured government. And by this, after the World War I, Germany, after the World War I, Weimar Republic signed the Treaty of Versailles, and this peace treaty was signed in France. Versailles is a place which was situated in France. So this peace treaty was signed between these groups, and from Germany, on behalf of Germany, Weimar Republic signed this peace treaty. Clear? Okay. Now I will discuss with you about the conditions of the Treaty of Versailles. Okay. As I told you, the Treaty of Versailles of 1919, which ended the First World War, was considered as the peace treaty, right? But all the German considered the Treaty of Versailles as harsh and humiliating peace. Harsh and humiliating peace. Why did so? Because as you all know that many countries participated in the World War I, right? Allied power won against the Central powers. So in the Central power, you can see there are lots of powers are there, like Germany, Austria-Hungary, Turkey, Italy, and other many powers are there. So Germany was only not responsible for the World War I, right? All powers are included, all powers are involved. So if there any responsibility, if there any damages, if there anything was happened, that's all these responsibility has been taken by all the powers. But the Allied powers, they said that no, Germany is the only culprit of the European nation, because of the provocation of the Germany, the World War I was happened, and Germany took all the responsibilities of the war. So therefore, war guilt clause was imposed on Germany, and Germany became responsible for the war and damages that Allied countries suffered. So that's why all the Germans considered the Treaty of Versailles as harsh and humiliating peace. Okay, what are the conditions of the Treaty of Versailles? You can see that Germany lost its overseas colonies by the Treaty of Versailles, 1/10 of its population and its territories. Next one, iron and coal mine. All the iron and coal mine of Germany was transferred to France, Poland, and Denmark. Why did so? Because of the war guilt clause, and Allied countries suffered because of the World War I, and therefore they took over all the iron and coal mine from Germany, and it was transferred to France, Poland, Denmark, Lithuania, and other countries. Those who are participated, those who are the members of the Allied countries. Okay, next one. Germany forced to pay 6 billion pounds. Can you imagine 6 billion pound? In Indian rupees, 6 billion pound is equal to 660 crore in that time. 660 crore. So Germany has to pay 660 crore. So the condition of Germany is just like a middle class man. that is, who took the loan from a bank for building a house, to construct a house, and after taking the loan from a bank, he was sacked from his job. So how the middle class man repay the loan amount to the bank? So the condition of Germany is just like a same. Germany has to pay the compensation of 6 billion pounds, but Germany did not have any monetary resources like iron and coal mine, overseas colonies, and so on. So that's why these are the condition of the Treaty of Versailles, and that's why this treaty was considered as harsh and humiliating peace. Remember students, this topic was very important for the 5-mark question. Okay, Germany had no option to just Germany has to accept the harsh and humiliating condition of the Treaty of Versailles. Why did so? Because the Weimar Republic signed the Treaty of Versailles. So Germany had to face the situation and they had to pay the huge amount of 6 billion pound. So the Treaty of Versailles and the birth of Weimar Republic led to the emergence of political radicalism and economic crisis in Germany. Remember students, birth of Weimar Republic coincided with revolutionary uprising of the Spartacist League. As we all know that all the other political parties who are not the supporter of Weimar Republic, they made responsible for the condition of Germany only to the Weimar Republic. They believe that the Allied powers forcefully imposed the Treaty of Versailles to the Germany, and Weimar Republic signed the Treaty of Versailles. So Germany had to face the situation. So for the condition of Germany, for the current scenario of the Germany, they made responsible to the Weimar Republic. And by this, therefore, many political uprising, many revolt was organized against the Weimar Republic. And that kind of revolt is generally organized, that kind of revolt is generally headed by the Spartacist League. That's why this period is known as political radicalism. Okay. Now the question is, what is Spartacist League, right? Spartacist League is a party, is a political party, and that party was led by the socialist communist. Okay, and why? And this party was established just after the success of Russian Revolution, and these political party, they wanted a same type of situation that was happened in Russia just after the abdication of Tsar Nicholas II, and they wanted a Soviet style government, that means a socialist government, just like the same government that the Soviet Union had. So therefore the Spartacist League and Weimar Republic, they have a clash with each other, and finally Weimar Republic crushed the uprising of the Spartacist League, and later on the Spartacist League renamed itself as the Communist Party of Germany. But the problem is that Germany, I have told you, Germany had to pay huge amount of reparation, but Germany did not have any monetary resources, just like the condition of a middle class man who took the loan from a bank, but he sacked from his job. So how did he repay the loan amount to the bank? So the condition of Germany is just like a same. So therefore this situation led to the economic crisis in 1923. Remember students, Germany had fought the war largely on loans and had to pay war compensation in gold, because all the money and all the monetary reserve was treasury has been finished. So Germany has to pay the loan in gold. Remember students, every country has their gold reserve. Every country had some gold reserve, and the country used this gold reserve due to the crisis period. Okay, so usually none of the government of the country try to utilize this gold reserve because it was preserved for the crisis period, because gold is a very important thing. I think you know that the prices of the gold increase time to time. So therefore every country has a reserve of gold, but Germany did not have any monetary resources because Germany did not have iron and coal mine, did not have colonies. So Germany has to pay the loan amount in a gold. So the gold reserve of Germany reduced gradually. Next, fall in the value of currency mark. Mark is the currency of Germany, just like rupee in India. Okay, so there is a fall in the value of currency because German government, the Weimar Republic government recklessly printed the German currency, and by this the value of mark collapsed and prices of goods increase. These situation led to the increase of prices of essential goods. So the condition of common people became terrible, okay, in 1923. In this situation, America believed that no, we put harsh measures on Germany. So America intervened this situation and they introduced Deutsche Plan. Okay, the Deutsche Plan reworked the terms of reparation, which means the amount has to pay by the Germany to ease the financial burdens on Germany. So this is a Deutsche Plan. So America think about that we are imposing harsh treaty on Germany. So America decided to reduce the financial burden on Germany to stable the situation and to fight with the economic crisis which arise in 1923. But unfortunately, whenever America decided to help Germany in 1929, America also saw great economic crisis, and this great economic crisis was happened 24th October 1929. On that day, Wall Street Exchange crashed. What is Wall Street Exchange? It is a share market of America. Just like share market of India, Dalal Street is the share market of India which is situated in Bombay. Wall Street Exchange, which was crashed, share market of America crashed, and which led to the Great Depression or Great Economic Crisis in USA. Okay, this is it for today's chapter. Okay, now in my next class I will discuss with you how this situation after the World War I paved the way of the greatest dictator, Adolf Hitler. Thank you and have a nice day.